Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Female League Latest. I'm your host Regas and today with me I have Lilyane, mid laner from Clash Midnight, Emprez, jungler from SK Gaming Avarosa, and Trez, jungler for Big Chroma. Hello and nice to have you all here.
Hi.
Yo, nice to be
Hello.
here.
Today's topic of discussion will be the past year in the female scene, what happened in 2022. But before that, a quick introduction from each of our guests.
Okay, hello. As you said, my name is Melanie, but I go by Lily. My mom also calls me Lily. I am a mid laner, sadly, for Clash Midnight or Clash Kittens, but this name actually got scrapped off during our debut. I like to cry about the meta, and I like to be annoying with my teammates. Yeah.
Nice. Hi everyone, I'm Emprez, and I play for SK Avarosa. I play jungle, and yeah, I played for them for like 6 months now, and I played with Lily before as well on a team. So the annoying with the teammates is true. Oh, kidding.
And hey, I am Trez, and I'm the jungler for Big Chroma, the kind of diverse team, being in Prime League and recently in Equal Esports events, and also known as resident Lilia Bandora and overall cringer. So yeah.
Okay. So now, let's begin. It's early 2022. La Coupe Féminine has finished with victory by Grow Up Stars, and it's off-season in the female scene. Now, Lily and Emprez, you played in that tournament with the Enigma Galaxy Mina team. And Trez, you played with Resolve, and you actually played in the LAN too, where you got 4th place.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the off-season. What's going through each of your minds back then?
Personally, it's not truly off seasons for us because we're gonna play Open Tour LFL Division 3 in a month, I think. And so we're like really training, screaming every week, like so it's not very much of we are. And we're going to like we're screaming a lot, and we chose this kind of competition because it's like easier to how do I say this, to adjust in order to be able to play also female tournaments when the date is due. Yeah, I wanted to say almost every day, but I said every week. I stumble a bit. It's Kiana's in chat. I feel a bit nervous.
Okay, like it's nice to have this formation, and I will say I think it's definitely a good idea to also play big scene. But Lily, the question was for the previous off-season, like a year ago, not this off-season.
Last off season? Oh,
Yes.
I didn't even remember what I wanted to do. I was sleeping every day. What? I don't remember. I was a lazy homeless man last season. I have no memories of that.
So
Yeah.
maybe like be more specific. Guide us through what happened between the time you left Enigma Galaxy and the time
okay.
Clash Midnight was created.
Okay. So between that and now, like I left Enigma Galaxy, was like I took a break from League altogether. As I said, I was sleeping every day, all day, playing other games. Then at one point, a friend of mine goes like, "Oh, do you want to play this female tournament? I have a roster already." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And being already a streamer for Clash, I just asked my manager. I was like, "Oh, do you think you can, maybe if we go to LAN, you can support us for LAN or something like that?" And he's like, "Yeah, actually, we're very interested in exploring the female scene. We would like to make a team." And yeah, then we got the team. We like, from when it started to where we are now, a lot of things changed. And I sleep less. I don't sleep every day anymore. Yeah. I'm very bummed about that one.
It's fine. Maybe in the future, once you retire.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I hope it's soon. If I end up getting like €1 million, maybe I retire.
Okay. Oh, Emprez, you were also Enigma Galaxy, Mina, and you also had a pretty long period without playing. What happened with you between the time you left Enigma Galaxy and the time you joined SK Avarosa? What were you doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good ass question. I mean, after Enigma Galaxy, I think I kind of lost the competition spark in me. Like playing and competing was not on my priority anymore. Like I just wanted to grind solo, stream. Yeah, that was the kind of feelings I was going through. So I left, even though I was really happy for the team and it was a great org. But yeah, I left, and then I actually had this. I will retire now. I will never join a team again in the female team. Or scene, sorry. And yeah, then I actually worked for 6 months, just every day at an electronic shop, and I streamed, and I just, yeah, kind of enjoyed my time not playing competitively anymore. But then, yeah, SK reached out to me, and I talked a bit back and forth with them, and I thought about it, and it seemed really nice, and at that time that was like 6 months where I've been working and I've still been grinding solo queue and streaming a lot. I realized that I wanted to get back into it, and SK is such a good team, it's such a great org, so yeah, I thought I would wanted to give it a chance again, and yeah, I really enjoy it still.
So, how did SK convince you to get out of tournament? Like, they came and dragged you from your full-time occupation back into esports?
Yeah, they did. I mean, I think they contacted me once where I actually declined because I was still doing the work. I was working every day, and that was what I wanted. And then the second time they came to me, I heard the roster and I played with them, and yeah, I thought, okay, I need to take this opportunity. Like, I'm ready again to play. So yeah, and I'm glad I took that. Yeah.
That first time you're talking about, was that at the start of the spring split, 2022?
Yeah, I think so, if I'm not being mistaken. Yeah.
I see. For those who don't know, Emprez joined SK Avarosa before the summer split last year.
Yeah.
They had different roster spring. Okay, and Trez, what about you? Like, you were with Resolve in 2021, and you continued with Resolve in 2022. What was your off-season like? Did you have to fight for your spot? Were you under pressure? Did you perhaps have your spot confirmed that you could just chill? What was happening with you?
There was a lot actually going on for me in the off season because when we kind of went into 2022, that was Enigma Galaxy were holding open tryouts at the time, so a lot of people were invested in kind of trying to join that team just because of things like salary and stuff being like very generous. So the Resolve roster actually kind of like fully like dropped. Contracts weren't kind of like renewed or talked about until at the same time they decided to run tryouts alongside NGX and 1 or 2 other teams as well. So I was kind of doing like maybe 3 or 4 teams tryouts in the same period to kind of like try solidify a spot. And I've probably had a preference to joining NGX at the time, but I wound up again on Resolve kind of after all that. But it was probably for me like actually one of the most stressful points of playing, more so than like playing the Liquid Feminine tournament, just because of the amount of games and scrims I was kind of throwing in each day. I think I literally scrimmed 10 scrim blocks in 7 days, which for me, as like a very laid back person, I was not used to that. So I kind of got very burnt out, but I survived it, and yeah, kind of joined up with that Resolve roster.
Yeah, that's a lot of game time for a specialty, like many blocks. Seems like Lily and Emprez perhaps did the right play by sitting off that off season and not actually burdening themselves with tryouts. So, yeah. Okay. Now, before we move into 2022's tournaments, Lily and Emprez, do you have anything to share from your time together in Enigma Galaxy?
I mean, it was a good time. I mean, we had ups and downs, of course. There's ups and downs in every team, and yeah.
I played
don't
a lot
know.
of Orianna.
Yeah, you did. But I know this, like every time we went in scrim or I don't know, we had tournaments, you know, it was fun. Like Lily is so much fun, and yeah, I always had a good time with her.
Yeah, I agree.
I see. Okay. Now, moving on 2022. Now, I will say from my perspective, I was the manager of Void Esports Sphere at that time, which later became London United Ties. We started tryouts before all the other teams, and then we had to completely stop our tryouts for like 2 weeks because all of the players went to tryout. They went to tryout with Enigma Galaxy and Resolve, so we kinda had no one left to try out. So yeah, it was like a bit of a delay. But anyway, the Doomfire tournament popped up. First with the Doomfire so much in January, which was just best of 3 between London United Dice and KTRL. London United Dice won 2-1. And then the main event in March, in which Trez, you participated with Resolve, but Lily and Emprez were there. Like, Lily and Emprez, did you follow that event at all? Did you actually watch any games? Were you interested or not?
I don't think I watched that much back then, to be honest. Yeah, I kind of don't remember. Yeah.
Me neither, I was sleeping. Me.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Trez, give us a quick rundown of your memories from Doomfire, so we can move into events in which everyone here participated.
Well, from what I remember from Doomfire is I had a great time playing top lane against Fengdere at some point. But no, I mean, it was like kind of fun, but like kind of very obvious result-wise kind of tournament. Like what we had the 5 teams of Burger Flippers at the time, the future mostly GT roster, the NGX roster,
Yes.
with like Nemris and Sheena and stuff. Resolve with Olori Panda, me, and some Ali in top lane,
Yes.
and Shah. Yeah, and then obviously United Eyes and KTRL. Yeah, I think it was nice to just the tournaments, like kind of like nice to see like teams playing, which I think going into that point of 2022, it was like, oh, where are all the tournaments, you know?
Yeah.
Which was a bit frustrating, I think, at the time, for people who like were on teams and wanted to do things. But yeah, it was like fairly obvious results. NGX kind of like coming out on top, showing like a lot of strength at the time. Like I think they had really strong laners in general, and I think at that time as well, Sheena was playing really, really well in jungle and coordinating her team really well.
Yeah.
Which kind of led to the result of them winning. And it was kind of like decided as well, like halfway through, that I was going to be leaving Resolve after that tournament. So to have a bit of like experience, I ended up swapping roles with Ali so she could get back into jungle. So we, at least on Resolve, we took it somewhat, maybe not as seriously as we were looking for like a win, because it wasn't necessarily like a high prize pool tournament, right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of just like, okay, we're just using this as experience.
In general, it wasn't a very prestigious tournament. It was the only thing that was taking place at that time. 5 teams, all invited, and the invitation process was actually kind of strenuous because I was the manager of one of the teams, London United Ice, and I was like working together with the organizer, like trying to get him to invite teams because the thing was like very unstable at that time. It was hard to actually get any teams to participate. Originally, they were intending to have a bigger tournament with more teams, like Bifrost White, and they also conducted SK Avarosa, the spring lineup, not the lineup with Emprez. But none of these teams came after all, so it was held with only 5 teams. But yeah. That Enigma Galaxy lineup didn't play another tournament. They disbanded after that. It was a really strong team with Sana top lane, Sina jungle, Lady Helsing mid, then there's bot lane, and Kiana support.
We stole 3 of them.
Yes, you did. But yeah. At the second place team, Burger Flippers, ultimately they changed the one member, replaced Fengdera with Lysia, and that team became the G2 we know now. But okay, moving forward, it's time for the summer. Now, Empress, let's start with you because you were also playing in Prime League at that time. What was the process of joining SK and preparing to participate in Prime League Division 6?
I mean, we had a lot of talks and we had a lot of meetings about how we were gonna like move forward with practice and scrims and all this that has to be done going into Prime League. But it was really, I think there's not that many female tournaments like within a year. So playing another division, knowing that you play Prime League and like training for it and actually doing your best is a motivation, I think, because it can kind of be lacked when there's not that many female tournaments that you have to practice for like 5 or 6 months for like nothing. So the fact that we played Prime League and we're still in Prime League was very nice, and I think it gave the team a lot more motivation and wanting to grind to actually climb the Prime League ladder.
Yeah, that's a fair observation, because the female scene is quite volatile. You never quite know when tournaments are going to show up. So knowing that you at least are playing in Prime League and every week you have games to show up for and games to practice for, that helps with motivation. Definitely better than screaming for like 3 months straight without ever seeing actual competition. So yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you won that split easily, actually, Division 6.
Yeah.
Promoted to Division 5, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's time for Girl Gamer. And let's go to class here. Like, Lily, what do you have to tell us about how that class lineup was formed?
Yeah, we just said, okay, let's find whoever's available. And that's about it. Like, we made a few swaps along the way. Like, for example, Zavi joined in, but it was like something very random. It's like, oh, do you wanna come play with us? Yeah, okay, come. Stuff like that. Yeah, right? And it was very like unprofessional, but at the time we weren't even like being sponsored by QLASH. It was more like they decided to support us in case we went to LAN. When we finished the competition, they said they wanted to go clear with the project, they want to start anew, they wanted to go like have some new players and consider their options, because they want a team that can be really good and they can back up with sponsors and stuff like that. So we put up a full-on project for it, from like being a group of people that knew each other, saying, okay, let's play a few games, let's see how it goes. So yeah.
Okay. And Trez, you also ended up with that lineup as a substitute jungler, right?
Yeah, I was just kind of there as a backup just in case, you know. And honestly, like my main involvement was just like helping the jungle SC, just kind of adapt to kind of like competitive games, and just giving her lots of information. Also.
And she had like 37 pages of spreadsheets about jungle timers, jungle tracking. I was like, okay. I'd never done something like that for my role. It was like so dedicated. I envy that a lot.
Yeah, I guess that's just jungle life.
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like I was like basically like taking like time off kind of like from just playing myself. Anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm still hyper addicted to the game. I just want to like be involved in something as you go game. And I was like, well, I can't really play it, but it's like, I mean, I'll throw in like a bunch of help to somebody if like they want it. So it just kind of like happened. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just be here. And here's like 2 days worth of me just sitting at my PC, like being a massive nerd. Please take all of this information, kind of situation.
Now we know that when Trez retires from playing, he has a future as a positional coach for whichever team might want to pick her up. Okay. And Emprez, what about you? What was SK's preparation for Guild Gamer?
I mean, we played a lot of scrims. We practiced a lot, and we looked a lot over like our games and the mistakes, and trying to do actually a lot of team bonding experiences as well when we had the boot camps at SK, because you get another connection when you meet each other in real life and you do stuff, you do team bonding. We were in an escape room, for example, and like all this stuff that actually you need to work together to kind of figure it out. So we did a lot of that, and yeah, we tried our best, but yeah, didn't get that far.
Okay, so did you actually manage to clear the escape room, or did you get stuck inside and they start blaming each other?
I mean, we didn't blame each other. We didn't make it though, but we laughed so much. I've never tried it before, but it was hilarious. It was so crazy. And she actually told us when we got out that she had never seen like people being so confused, because it was so confusing, but it was so funny.
I see. Okay.
I'd probably go crazy if I was stuck in a room with escape for that long too, to be honest. So
Oh, she made it a lot of fun.
What kind of other team bonding activities do you have besides escape rooms?
We had a lot of just being together actually as a team, like going to dinner, watching Netflix, like away from the game, because when you sit and play with each other, like you can duo queue and you can like see each other in solo queue, sit and say like this and that, but like actually doing something away from the computer just gives it a more personal touch. So if you know the person aside League, it gives a lot of other bonding, I think, to like the team environment and how you play together and how you coordinate things. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I just like normal stuff that you do, just like eating lunch together and talking about not League but something else.
Did you do any preparation specifically for Guild Gamer, or did you just follow the same path you would with Prime League and just happen to play Guild Gamer on top of that?
I mean, for Girl Gamer, we looked a lot more into the teams, into the roster, and into how some of the players and some of the teams, what the weakness and what the strength are on the teams, because it's also a different setting playing Prime League and then playing in female tournament, because you have a lot more info from the female tournament than what you have from Prime League. So yeah, we did that specifically to prepare better.
Okay, to expand on that point, and this is a question for everyone here. Let's use Guild Gamer as an example. You are preparing for a tournament, like the players know each other, like they know each other's strengths and weaknesses, but the staff don't, because the staff you had in your organizations did not have specialized female scene knowledge. So how do you go about teaching like your coaches or your managers or anyone else about the other players and how they're supposed to deal with them?
For example, looking at like the strongest teams, like whoever wins a lot. For example, the G2 team, that is G2 now with Karina and Cultist and Tifa, they are really strong. And so looking at that and looking at the players and former games they played, it's a way to like kind of educate your staff and coach on how the people play, because in the tournaments I've played against them as well, and we have Pjush as well on SK, and she played a lot in female scene as well. So just like all the experiences that you get and what you hear, like you can pass that further to the staff and the coach. Yeah.
Okay. Lily, what about you? Like, how was it with you trying to tell the class staff about the other players, the female scene, and how you're supposed to deal with them in Guild Gamer?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
It's like, how was it your experience telling your org staff in Guild Gamer about players of the female scene and how they're supposed to deal with them, since they themselves did not know about the female scene?
It was kind of hard at first, because we clashed a lot with at the time coach, because he didn't quite understand that the female scene kind of worked differently compared to mixed. It took a long time, it took a lot of VODs to watch, and it was also very hard because VODs are not easy to find.
Yeah.
Because competitions are so far apart from each other. So in the end, everyone in our team at the time kind of knew a bit of like how the female scene is and the meta and how things are played out. So we all came down and explained it to him, and in the end we have a new coach, so as you can see, didn't go well.
Yeah.
No, he's still here. He does positional now. But it was just funny because we all bully him.
Okay. Now, in general question to everyone here. Do you find it's hard to get people who are not experienced with the female scene to adjust their mindset to what works in the female scene? The different meta, the different play styles, anything else?
I think yeah, but at the same time, I have a feeling that this is not like this is gonna change a bit during the next few competition. I think everyone is just gonna stick to regular meta from here on, because we are at a point in league in which if you're not playing meta, you're basically just griefing. So I don't expect to see those off-meta kind of one-trickish champs anymore. Like if I see Ari again one more time, I'm just gonna cry. It's such a bad champion right now, for example, like about mid lane. And so I truly expect for like teams, maybe they will try a bit to still play off meta stuff. So, but at the same time, as soon as they don't find any good results with it, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna like adapt to it. And players like me in like the first place, I thought like I set up a lot of limits to myself, like, oh, I can't play this, I can't play that, I'm just not good at this, I'm not good at that. But like with scrims and practice and so on, I think everyone can achieve like playing good, easy drafts, even when they're not the best, but just like in order to adjust and to make the game easier for your team.
Hey, let's expand on that, because you mentioned Ari as an example. But it doesn't have to be Ari, like any champion outside of the meta, but we're in a scene where the top mid laners, like they all play Ari, and they are all willing to pull it out in the female scene. Yeah. So how exactly do you deal with that? Like knowing that it's a bad pick, but that everyone inside the scene is still willing to play it and can still succeed with it. Like, do you build comps around it? Do you try to neutralize it? Do you just let them play it and do your own thing?
I think in the past we were like at one point in which both the average of teams didn't quite know how to, like, they would just go always comfort. Like most of the team always go comfort, independently of draft. But I've seen a lot of people, like in our past tournaments, that are kind of adapting a lot more, especially when it comes to bot jungle departments. So in my opinion, we will see like an adaptation of the meta, and if people are just gonna see off meta picks, you can just like pick whatever's broken at the moment and just like, and they're not gonna have an easy time. Like I don't see a way in which, for example, Ari can win against a Ryze mid, like in this current situation, at least.
Okay, so if the new wave of players are willing to actually learn new picks that we don't often see in the scene, then perhaps this type of thing could change.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Emprez and Trez, like in SK Avarosa and Resolve Blue respectively, like how, like when you were preparing your drafts and whatnot, how much did you gear them towards the meta compared to how much you gear them towards the peculiarities of the female scene and your specific opponents?
You wanna go first, Trez, or?
Yeah, sure, okay. So I mean, I think it really depended on the player in general. Like, I think on Resolve, like weakness in drafting anyway was like a lack of theme. So a lot of our picks were either geared towards, okay, this player can play everything, so we're gonna pick like strong meta picks. But then we have like maybe like one or two players in lanes who are like, or you know, it's like they don't have like this full champ pool. Like say, let's say like I don't know, like Victor Oriana that was like really strong like some point last year, like and Parma just like the handshake. It's like, well, we can't play one piece of this, so we have to like adapt our whole kind of drafting or banning style. So I think at least in Resolve there was always kind of like a mix of it depending on position. But I think we tried to like at least stick with like the style of comps that was kind of like okay, this is like what's working, you know, like this like early push mid side into side lane dive kind of style in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, no, I fully agree on what Trez is saying. Like drafting around what you know that you're good in the team and like your strength. For example, in SK Avarosa, the past 6 months, we played a lot for Fang and top, because that was kind of how we saw that that we could draft through the game with the roster that we had. Because Mercia, for example, was really good at 6, or these scaling champions, Jinx, so we could like draft the weak side bot, and then Fang was like, yeah, the one we were playing for in early. And yeah, I think just drafting around what is meta is important, but also if you have pocket picks, if you have a player who's really good at certain champions that doesn't get banned out, you can definitely play around that as well.
Okay. To expand on this point a bit before going back to our 22 into timeline, we often see in female teams a disparity between the strength of players in different roles because of the different player pools. So often in a female team, the top and jungle, they tend to be of a lower individual ability level than mid, bot or support, and that shapes the way these teams try to play a bit. Do you believe it's important that teams try to play in a more standard way despite this, or should they just stick to their own strengths?
I mean, I think first of all, it's like extremely important to, when you play on a team, to actually like play or learn certain like champions and be able to expand your champion pool, because it gives so much more to work with. But at the same time, I think while you're learning, you can still stick with this strength on the team and like the picks that you know will work. Of course, you always have to have a plan if the bans is going to be targeted or something. But I think it's not that important to just always play to the standard and like the meta. It's good to have like meta picks, of course, in your champion pool. But I think you can play towards what you know is going to work for the team.
Okay.
And I'd kind of say, like, especially kind of in the top jungle examples, I'd always prefer to pick these kind of players who, like, maybe, you know, sometimes you have like skill discrepancies on just like really safe picks. You know, I don't want to like to see like a D4 top laner who's like only like a full tank player, like trying to play in somebody like Sana or Wolfie, like in like a Bruiser versus Bruiser matchup or something. You know, like, oh, they'll just like, you know, oh yeah, blind me Fiora because it's OP in the meta. You know, like and for their sake, I wouldn't want to see that. Yeah, so I think like kind of adapting to like maybe changing players' playstyles to put them on like either like safer picks or either just like really strong comfort, especially in these roles where it's like has the skill discrepancy, is overall like makes the gameplay for the team a lot more stable, because you don't have them like kind of like on these, maybe like, you know, you get like a Shaco OTP going to like skill check somebody on like a level 3 invade or something. I think stability is like a really like a cool part of like a lot of competitive play.
For my take, I'm gonna be a bit more like rough on it, but it's just like my point of view. I think if you join a team and you're not willing to at least try, not to like succeed at it, but at least try to change your playstyle and champion pool in order to make like your team have an easier time, then you're not trying hard enough. And you need to revalue your goals as a player, because when you join a team, you're not there to like warm your seat, waste their time. You're there to improve. You're there to win as much as you can, be the best possible version of yourself as a player. And I think that starts also by wanting to try other stuff. I don't care if you go 0-10 in 30 scrims. I practiced Azir, and I promise you, I never won a lane in my life. Never won a lane in my life. I was at one point in which my fan was good, but I still at least got solo killed randomly all the time. At one point, we were like, okay, probably not my champion, but at the same time, we tried, right? So maybe that's not my case, but maybe other champion will be.
Okay. So when can we see your 0-10 Azir in competitive play?
We decided to scrap that. But I still learned a lot of new champions. Yeah, but the Azir, it's a bit too spicy. I'm like, when we have a really winning draft, I go like, guys, Azir spot? Maybe? And everyone tells me to shut up, so...
Okay.
It is what it is.
I wanted to see the shuffle though.
I'm good at those 30 games.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just insta-lock it next time to say, let me cook.
What is she cooking?
Maybe get compilation Azir highlights from your stream and put together a montage.
Yeah, okay, I will.
Okay. Well, I guess that means we can perhaps expect your team to show off new picks this year, but we are not used to seeing the female scene.
Yeah, I think most definitely.
Okay. You heard here. Now, let's go back to Guild Gamer and follow the path QLASH and SK took, right? Ellie, let's start with you. The first game you played against Lotto United Dice, do you remember anything from that game? Casino.
Can you remind me the champs? Maybe you can jog my memory a bit?
No, I do not remember the champions, actually. It has been lost to memory. I only remember the lineups, so...
Okay, tell me the lineup.
I mean, your team was Pivotless, C, you, Xavi, and Delicate.
Okay.
And Lotto United Dice was Lilu, Valdria, Ali, the sub Edikari, Steffi, because Bambi wasn't playing, they subbed out, and Dahlia support.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah, I played Kiana that game. I remember. Yeah, I remember that one. I played Kiana into Oriana.
Okay.
Really? How do you remember this? I can't even remember what I got for breakfast yesterday. Like, how do you remember that game?
I remember all my matchups.
Yeah, that's crazy. I guess you don't play enough solo queue.
I don't play enough Azir, that's why.
That's true.
Okay. Moving on, you ran onto Stars. The team that won La Coupe Feminine the previous year and considered by many to be a favorite. They had the same lineup except with Kiana over Aloru. And what do you remember about that game? Let me bracket.
It was tragedy. we couldn't play around your group too well, but we had a lot of issues like coordinating between bot and top. So that kind of was like, I think that the roster of that time was like, when the team was weaker, we would have stomped them, but if the opponent was like slightly stronger than us, we would just like go limp.
Because you were a brand new lineup and relied exclusively on individual ability to win games. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. You lost that game down to losers bracket. You played against OBS, a French team. Do you remember anything from that game?
I think we won that one.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Yes, you did.
I'm trying to understand what I played. Because I played I played Oriana versus SK. I don't remember what I played. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Now, let's pause here and go to SK and see if Emprez actually remembers anything from that tournament.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, so like you also played against OBS first round, like that's up, and you won. And then you played against Resolve Blue. Like, do you remember anything from the Resolve game?
No, but was it against Trez?
No. Trez was.
Oh, it was Ali, right? Ali
yes.
Yeah.
Ali.
And Shamit?
Yes. Exactly.
I think I remember. I mean, I know we lost.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We did. I don't know. I have a vivid memory of Shah playing Syndra and like playing it really well because she's also a really great mid laner. Always plays really consistent. But I think in that game we couldn't really find our win con and we didn't play up to our best. So yeah, so it was just doomed.
Okay.
Yeah, of what I remember.
From that defeat down to losers bracket for SK, where you found Lily here, like SK versus QLASH, and wait, like, what do the two of you have to say about that game?
I think we got stomped, right?
I think we griefed a lot of plays. But
Bro, what? Are you sure I even played? I can't remember.
you were the only one playing, I remember. You were playing fucking Wukong. I think you were the only one who was playing the game properly.
Really?
Yeah.
I legit can't remember. What were you playing?
Ariana versus Victor.
Do you remember what your team played?
Uh,
Bro, I played 10 solo queue games a day, like, I don't know. This is like fucking 10 years ago.
I was squeezing my brain right now. No.
Because I think I get it mixed up because we played against each other as well in like the last tournament.
Yes.
I think so,
yeah, exactly. So that's why I get like things. But I think you guys like stomped what I remember. But maybe I'm remembering wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. But I remember.
Yeah, saying it so humbly. Yeah, I think we stomped you guys.
No. It was like but it was like so messy because we only truly relied on lanes winning, and if lanes didn't win, go next.
Well, that SK defeat sent them out of the qualifiers. A refresher here for those who might not remember: 3 teams of that qualifier went to the LAN in Romania. 2 of them were for the upper bracket, Burger Flippers and Stars. And the final spot would be decided between QLASH Midnight and Resolve Blue in a best of 3. And really, what do you want to say regarding that series? And you can talk both about the in-game stuff and the out-of-game stuff, like whatever you want to say, no pressure. Because yeah, there were quite a few controversies there.
That was a disaster, man. It's because we received the little news that our ADC had to go mid-series. But like there were a lot of stalls, a lot of pauses, so we entered the game like between all the stalls, we entered the game I think 1 hour later than we were supposed to. We even asked like production to make it a bit earlier because she had to go, because something was up with her mom. But they didn't say anything, like the general management was just not clear. So in the middle of the series, when we were like 1-1, it was like the third one was like a very, very one game because we had like 5k gold at 13 minutes lead. But we had to remake it because our ADC had to go. So in the end, we remade the finals to one last game in the next week that we lost in the end. But it was still fine. I think it was a deserved loss. Even if we played with a sub that I think Rochelle played really, really, really well. They were just more prepared as a team. And I think I could personally learn a lot from that one. And I think I did. But a lot of backlash.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of things behind the scenes, but let's not air everyone's dirty laundry out to the public. It's fine. No need to delve too deep. But yeah, okay, so Girl Gamer qualifiers end with Resolve taking the final spot. And then it's time for the main event in Romania, which none of us here actually went to. But yeah, it was Stars, number 1 seed from the qualifier. Burger Flippers, number 2 seed from the qualifier. Resolve Blue, number 3 seed from the qualifier. And KTRL, female team, which qualified from a separate Romania-only qualifier. Now, like, as spectators, what did you think about the Guild Gamer LAN?
I mean, it was a long day, is all I can say from watching it. I was like, I think I was sitting there at like my friend's place, and we were watching it together. I think until 1 a.m. And like after every game, I was just like, oh, please, just let them sleep, let them go to bed or something. Please let this end. This like, I'm not really sure what happened or why there needed to be like a massive concert in the middle of the entire schedule as well. But I mean, the event itself seemed like a bit of a scheduling disaster.
What a tragedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think it was a bit rough for the players playing at the LAN. Yeah.
I would say it was extremely optimistic by the organizers to try to fit all these games in a single day. Like, yeah, that's how I'm going to say it. Extremely optimistic. I'm not gonna put it another way.
But also the casting in Romanian was like, okay, yeah. I am listening.
Yeah, and there was no official English stream at the start. Then Pivotless put up her own unofficial stream. And then, like, an hour or two later, the organizers took that stream down and set up their own impromptu English stream at the last moment. So that was like, you know, I mean, if you could do that, why not do it from the start? But, yeah.
It took one cat girl.
Hey. Now, as for the actual games, well, KTRL lost all of their matches as expected. Like, their level was just not the same as the other teams, since they qualified from the separate Romania-only qualifier. And as to clarify here, when I say Romania only, I don't mean something like, oh, here, like, at least 3 Romanians and you can have, like, 2 imports. It was, like, a tournament only open to Romanian girls. So, you know, the level was quite different. But, anyway, now, as for the other games, Burger Flippers beat Stars at the start. Then they beat Resolve 2 and made it to the final. While Stars went to loser bracket, beat Resolve and made it to the final. And then the final went 2-1 for Burger Flippers, who managed to claim their first major first place. Do you remember anything from that final? Any comments you want to make?
I was sleepy.
Yeah, I don't think I watched that much actually, to be honest. Yeah.
I did, but it was an endurance test, so I don't think it was fair. Because it was just a LAN endurance test. It wasn't like the team who played best. It was the team that was more awake after 12 hours of playing.
Yeah. Like, the Burger Flippers girls, like younger, with more vitality and more energy, they made it through.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, that was Guild Gamer. Moving on, not too long after Guild Gamer, there was the announcement that the Burger Flippers lineup was joining G2. And okay, like, we are not going to pretend that we didn't already know, because like inside the scene, like the news had circulated before. But what I want to talk about here is your thoughts on how that announcement affected the female scene overall and its perception of it amongst the wider esports audience.
I think it was Lily, you can go.
No, go on, please, go on.
I think it was a huge announcement, especially from a team like D2. They have a big fan base, and it's one of the biggest esports teams in the entire world. They have a lot of good players, like on CS:GO as well, and like every other game. So I think it was major. It was really huge. It has made a lot of impact on like just normal people playing League, actually knowing about female scene, and there's actually good female players playing League as well. Yeah.
I agree. It's good that some light has been shown on the female scene. So people actually want to like be seen and play and improve. So I have really high hopes for the tournament, especially because I think a lot more people are getting interested in organizing more tournaments for female scene. So that's good as well, because the more tournaments we play, the more we can show ourselves and say, oh, hey, we're here as well. So yeah, I think it's very, very positive, very, very good.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think, like, you know, for the players themselves, obviously, it's like a great opportunity. Like, they're all kind of like, within like top 4 within their respective roles, you know. So it's like it's a good job for them. But obviously, then like having G2 like with massive social media followings being like, hey, look at our team, like aren't they so cool? Look, they're like and then they go win stuff. It's like it's generally just a really good promotion for the scene in general. And like I think sometimes people don't even know that like female tournaments exist. I think you kind of saw that with Rising Stars of a lot of like a lot of new signups and like new people that no one had ever like really even heard of. So I think like especially major orgs getting involved in the scene in general is a really positive step, just because of the general recognition.
Yeah, major orgs such as the 3 ones that the 3 of you are representing. It's like something to note here. Yeah. Moving forward from the G2 announcement, it was time for the QLS Sports Festival, which had a tournament with a bit of an interesting format. Like for those who might not know, basically what happened is 4 teams would participate, and these 4 teams, they kind of held open signups in a way, like they posted public forms for people to sign up through, and then chose players through these forms. It was Rogue, Big, SK, and Eintracht Spandau. Now, I should note at this point that SK did already have SK Avarosa, like the female team, but the team put together for the QLS Sports event was a separate team. It wasn't SK Avarosa participating in the tournament, the QLS Sports Festival. Also, Emprez, you did participate in a show match there, right?
Yeah, we played the show match, yeah.
Okay, tell us about that.
Yeah, we played a show match against EPF, I think it's called, yeah, the program that they had some of the players in. Yeah, we played that on stage. It didn't go that well, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, they won against us in like 20 minutes. It was not that good, but I mean, again, like losing on a stage is always like worse, in my opinion, than because it's just a different vibe. You really want to win on LAN. You really want to win, like even though you're not on LAN, but it's a different vibe that you get from people actually sitting and watching you. But again, like losing always grants you something else, and it will get you to improve and yeah, look at the mistakes and see what happened. But overall, it was a good experience for the team to sit together, because it is a different experience, and you have to be way more calm and collected together to sit and yeah, and have a good game where it's played well, coordinated while being on the stage. Yeah.
Okay. Now, in the prelude to the QLS Sports Festival, like Empress, I assume you didn't try to sign up with any of the teams because you were already with SK. So yeah. Lily, did you?
Oh yeah.
Which ones?
I think most of them.
Maybe
so.
Perhaps all of them except Eintracht Spandau, which had its form in German instead of English.
Maybe so, yeah. I remember feeling quite a bit of forms, but it was just for fun. So I wasn't mad. They picked other people. Like it was kind of whatever at the time. It was like off season for me as well, so I was just sleeping.
So your heart didn't shatter into a million pieces when you got back the rejection emails.
I don't think I even got any rejection, man. I just got like no mail at all. I was like,
hey, that's not cool though. Like just a message to everyone. Like at least like send like some response back if you're gonna reject someone. Like in general.
I don't mind. People already have a lot of things going through their job. I don't want to be like annoying stuff like that. It is what it is.
What was the situation with the QLASH team at that point? Had you already committed to making it a long-term project?
We were having tryouts, yeah.
Uh-huh.
We were having a lot of tryouts.
Yeah. And Trez, what about you? Which ones did you try to register for?
I actually applied for all 4 teams, and I think I heard back from definitely 2. I might have heard back from a third as well. But the first people I actually heard back from was Big, and I looked at the coach Outlandish, and I was like, well, this guy's a jungler, I can learn so much. So I just accepted that one right away.
So that was the reason you chose Big.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I've never had like a coach before has been like has experience like with jungle knowledge, really, outside of like maybe like hiring like an individual coach for it. So I was like, damn, this is a good opportunity because it's like the tournament's not exactly like got like a prize pool tied or anything. So it's a good opportunity to learn a lot of things.
Yeah. Okay. And what was your preparation for the tournament? Like, did you have a lot of time together as a team, a lot of scrims? Did you actually get to work one-on-one with Atlantis?
I believe we didn't have too much time. So I think pretty sure we each had like an individual session on like just like covering some general stuff about Outlandish. And I think we only had 3 scrim blocks, I want to say, in preparation for the tournament, where like we were very like focused on okay, like we're gonna play this play style, and we're gonna play it really, really well. So like we just kind of have like one identity that's really strong going in, that's really easy to execute, and that was kind of like our approach. And I think like I actually really want to give props to Outlandish, who really thought us like the team was like kind of his baby. He did a really good job of kind of like in that short period bringing the whole team together and like putting the roster together as well. I remember talking to him about like how he chose the players. He was like, oh yeah, I went back and like watched videos of like all the players I wanted from tournaments, and I was like, yeah, I want this player because of this. It's like, so it wasn't just like, oh, I'll take a look at that op.gg. It was actually very like involved process.
Huh. Yeah, that's nice. See. Okay. So it's time for the event. The two of you go to Germany. Me and Lily would stay here in the Mediterranean and we watch from our apartments. What was the actual atmosphere of the event, like being there in person?
I mean, I would say it was a great experience. It was an outside event, which was kind of funny to me. I've never experienced that, and it's not like a usual thing. Usually it's inside with another vibe. But it was like in the summer, and it was really nice. I think it gave a lot of great vibes that people were just walking by and like cars right beside you, even though people were like cheering and having a good vibe. It was like a really freely, nicely like event. Yeah.
Okay. What about the rain?
Ooh,
That was not good. Actually, on the second day when it was raining, I decided, I'm not standing out here in the cold. I went and took my friends and played mini golf before we played the tournament. I was like, I don't want to be outside anymore.
Yeah, when I stood and I saw it was like drip, like it was pouring down, and like it was pouring between like the lights and on the chairs, and I was like, maybe this is not that good, but I mean, yeah, they found a solution, and yeah, it was okay. But yeah, can't really count on the weather that much, but yeah, it was still a great vibe.
It was very atmospheric.
Yeah,
could say.
Oh, that's what we call it now when it's raining. Atmospheric.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. And now, what about the actual tournament format? Was just best of one, single elimination? I mean, there were people complaining that it was too short, but on the other hand, we have to account for the fact that it's just one of the many things happening at that event. So, not exactly easy to stick into the schedule with more time. But how did that affect the way you perceive the games and the way you went to play? Like both you, Trez, in the tournament, but also you, Emprez, in the so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had some issues with some settings on top with Fang not having the right settings, and that was a bit frustrating, which is understandable. So that gave us like a kind of an obstacle to get into the mindset. So that kind of threw us a bit off. And then yeah, it's one game, so we just lost it, and then you're just out. But I mean, again, it was just like show match, so it wasn't like tournament, like Trez played, and yeah, I mean, it's a bit sad because it's always fun playing LAN and stage, but yeah, it is what it is, like Lily says, and yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for us at least, it was like really just a test of, well, you know what, we've only got like one game against like each like team we face anyway. So it's just let's just try everything we've learned and throw it at the wall and see if it sticks, really. Which I think evidently we kind of managed to pull off. But it was definitely something where you can kind of go in with like one approach or like one kind of like very specific game idea or plan that you want to execute, and it's like a much easier when like you're literally only playing 2 games. So it's like not like all of a sudden, oh no, they're gonna find out the exact answer to like beaters.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, it's my friends call me a best of one abuser because of this tournament. It's like, well, you know.
Yeah.
Lily, did you watch the event online at all? Have any comments from your experience?
I watched Davi. I just watched Davi. I think it was a bit unbalanced. Some of the players were a bit bad. And like I feel like 2 other teams were very, very good. Like, for example, what ended up being the big Chroma and Rogue, of course. But the rest of them, it's not like they were single-handedly bad. It's just like they didn't stick together as much as a team. It was more like watching a solo queue game against people that were actually getting organized and stuff like that. So it was kind of low quality until finals, I believe. Sorry for I don't want to be like rude or mean, but I just really value what is working as a team with a coach in an organized space. I think it's the one thing that I value the most about any amateur or professional team preparing for a competition. That is like the thing I respect the most.
Okay. And before we proceed to the final chapter of the stream, which is Rising Stars, Trez or Emprez, do you have any background stories to share from the event? Like, not too spicy, like something that you might want to get out, like to the world.
I don't know, Trez, you can go first if you have.
You know, I just want to say, like, I'm really glad that Chromac, you know, who I'd never met before and I was sharing a room with, for the first time, did not scream when I entered the room at 3 a.m. because all my flights and stuff were delayed. After I was like waking up and like, you know, just like some random stranger like in her room, I was like, "Crew, it's me. Don't worry." But yeah, there's nothing like I guess like too spicy. It was just a fun little event, my team, and I got a nice McDonald's with the Rogue Stars players as well.
Yeah, I think the key thing was like a lot of females who is in the female scene got to like actually see each other in real life, like across the different teams, and I think that was kind of cool. I also met the ones that played the SK tournament, like Cherry and Apollonia. They were at the SK office as well, so it was yeah, it was really nice meeting them and just having fun eating together dinner and yeah, just chilling.
Okay. Now, the big event, Rising Stars. Official event, which is a very big deal, like an actual official event, the European female scene, unlike everything else that came before, because even like Coupe Féminine, for example, being a big major event, was still unofficial. It wasn't organized by a Riot partner, but Rising Stars was organized by people who were working with Riot, and Riot promoted it, so it was an actual official event. Many teams participating, 31 teams compared to 10 teams in the Gale Gamer just a few months earlier, so definitely massive improvement. And before we get to the actual tournament, let's talk about what was happening in each of your teams right before. Okay, what was going on in QLASH, in SK, and in Big?
We debuted our lineup the day before, I think, Rising Stars, because we worked together since a couple weeks now, and we're like, when is the announcement coming? Everyone is doing the announcement, but when is ours coming? yada 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 is coming. Eventually it will come. We're like every day, when is it coming? And it wasn't coming, and we were getting impatient and stuff like that. But we officially, everyone knew we're ready together. So it was kind of whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the SK was like, it was pretty hype because it was the official, like, an official league female tournament, right? And like there were many teams participating and good teams, right? And I think the thing we were most concerned about was like what bracket we would get, right? Because it's only like released really short. I think it's like the night before or something, or maybe on the day. I can't really remember, but
On the day.
yeah, on the day. So it's like just preparing as good as we can, like at Girl Gamer, and then seeing what bracket we get, and it was just I think it was just that, and then just play our best. Yeah.
Big. We obviously do not have a team with like 5 female identifying players. So like we saw the news, and I had some contacts with the admins already. So I was like, hey, like are we able to play? And they were like, it's not really allowed. So I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. It sucks for us, but because obviously, I mean, we want to represent female and non-binary players, but that's not really, it wasn't the space to. So it happens. But me myself, I at least wanted to get like coverage out there, and like just like any extra eyes really on the product and on the scene. So I decided, fuck it, I will run my own co-stream and kind of represent Big Chroma from kind of band.
Yeah. Trez, was there any talk of replacing the member you would need in order to participate, or did that not even cross people's minds?
I think it was discussed maybe only like once, but I think everyone was pretty against, like, well, no, we're not gonna like replace anyone. If like we can compete as 5, we'll compete as 5. But if we have no chance of doing that, then like we will just kind of like not change anything about ourselves, and we'll just kind of like take a different route.
Yeah. Okay, so time for the event. 31 teams, including many new teams, some of them quite good. A lot of chaos in the final days before the tournament, as many of these were getting formed at the last moment. But anyway, it's tournament day. What was the thought process of each of you? Like, including you, Trez, as a spectator. Like, what were you thinking? Which teams do you consider to be the favorites? Which teams do you consider to be dark horses? Anything else important you want to draw attention to?
I mean, I think I was one of the only people actually from the start who was like, damn, I really thought QLASH was actually going to run away with this tournament based on the lineup. Like, I was like saying, like, especially after the first day, like, I was like, damn, Daniel. But I don't think I myself necessarily saw any dark horses. Maybe you could call the Zero Lag lineup, when people saw that, maybe like a dark horse, because it was a team of people who hadn't really played together, but like had kind of been known as individually strong. But I think it was like kind of a good idea that at least like Zero Lag, QLASH, and G2 would probably be like within the top 3. I think everyone kind of thought maybe that would be the case, going in at least on the spectator side.
Lily, Emprez, what do you have to say to that?
Can I get the repeat on the question or the...
No, basically, what was going through your mind before the tournament? Which teams you expected to be strong, and anything else notable you were thinking of?
I mean, G2 is always a strong member, but I mean, when we saw how Clash was playing, I mean, I don't know, it was just I thought they would actually win it all. So
Lily, if you have something you want to get out, you can get it out. Like, we are listening.
we joined this competition like to kind of understand at which level we were at, because it was our first ever tournament, and we kind of went in like however it goes, it goes. When we kind of won every single game on the first day, I cried. I cried because at first I was like, is it over? And then they told me that it wasn't over. And because I thought the loser bracket was gonna get played the other day and the finals were done, right? Because I think La Ligue Féminine kind of went like that or something like that there. But the thing is, when we won and qualified to grand finals, I think we collectively all pissed our pants, because if we started with the mindset of it is what it is, however it goes, we're happy, to wait, we can actually get away with it, then I think panic got to us, and there were a lot of questionable decisions from draft to games. So I think it's a loss that stings in the end, but I feel like the losses that sting the most are also the one in which you can improve the most copium.
Okay. Well, now that your team has actually been together for a few months, perhaps we are going to see you with a bit more stability in tournaments 2023. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. Now, what do you think about Rising Stars in terms of how it was organized?
It was a lot better than Gamer Girl. I feel like the admins were like very nice. The regulations were kind of sus, because Zavi is a close friend of mine, and she told me about the situation, and I thought the set of rules that forbid non-binary people to join the competition was a bit sus. But aside from that, I really enjoyed how responsive the admins were. They were very nice, very kind to us. They provided even like league partnership for the people who didn't have it on the finals, so that we could draft properly. And so it was like, I think you could kind of see that people like that Riot was in some way behind it. So I think it was a bit more polished.
Yeah, I agree. And what Lily is saying, that was the impression that you got from how it was set up. Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of agree on that. It's like the game-to-game running was just really nice, and I think Rigus, you probably agree that like the communication in general that we had as people co-streaming was actually like nice as well. So
no tournament organized is perfect, but was definitely way better than we are used to for female standards. So that was quite nice, and things went quite smoothly. So yeah. I actually interviewed one of the people in the organizing team, so it also helped me get a deeper look of how exactly they are doing things, and it was easier to understand the reasoning behind some of their decisions. Now, let's go to the actual gameplay. Like, Lily, like you first. Well, you played two teams that are not as big in the first round, but then in the third round, upper bracket, you played against Emprez here. Like, what? I mean, Emprez, you said it earlier, like that was the game you remembered. You said a few things. Yeah.
I think I remembered, yeah, that we got. Because that was the last game we played before not qualifying, right? Like, we played Lily, like, as the last game. I can't really remember in what order it was, but I think it was like for like third place that Lily and I played against each other.
It was winner bracket quarterfinals in the Rising Stars.
Yeah, exactly. But I think in that game we were really behind, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
We couldn't really play around what we were drafting around, and we just played extremely bad, so we didn't deserve the win at all. So yeah.
If I recall correctly, you didn't get a single kill that game, right? It was a pretty difficult experience. So.
Yeah, but I can't remember what champ I played actually.
Lilia.
Okay, I played Lilia. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was just it was just a stomp, and yeah, we couldn't really figure out how to play because they played well together. So yeah.
Okay. But Lily, you won, and then winner bracket semifinals, you played against Zero Lag. In a game that I personally was super hyped for. It was the one game I want to watch the most out of all the games in the event. Like, that was the one game I was looking forward to the most. So, what do you have to say about the QLASH versus Zero Lag game?
To be honest, the first day felt like a blur because I was on Seraph in every game. So it was just a Seraphine game after a Seraphine game. In my mind, I just cleared the minions. But I think that one on the first day was actually harder. On the harder side, I think only 2 games were very, very hard for us. It was like the second one of G2 and that one of Zero Lag. I think the draft was also like not very favorable for us. And I remember Apollonia was playing also very, very well. And in the end, I think we just came on top because we practiced more as a team rather than because what they didn't have was like the resolve compared to us at the time thingy, right? They didn't have experience as a team. They were just very, very strong individual players, but they didn't have like a clear shot caller or like someone who pulls the strings and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I should note that besides experience as a team, they also didn't have as much experience individually. Because most players on the Zero Lag lineup, they were not experienced. They hadn't played in many competitions.
They also left their XI open.
Yeah.
Not a funny
Sina is probably somewhere in the chat remembering that right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that was winner bracket finals versus G2, the best of 3. Like, what do you have to say about that series?
Okay, so I think I was having a heart attack in the time. Like, I was on my 3rd Red Bull. My hands were shaking. I was sweating. The first game was like I couldn't breathe even, right? It was so bad. You have no idea. But luckily I was playing one of my most comfortable champions, so it didn't show too much. But yeah, I think it was like my teammates really came in clutch because I was the only one of them, I think, who never played like really big like matches. So they all encouraged me. They said, we have your back, we're here for you. So I kind of could stay calmer. I think Sana played the part of the anime protagonist on that series, playing Riven and Yasuo. She popped off really hard on both of them. It was like an incredible series. I was like, I was bawling after the Nexus exploded. I was like, I never did anything like that and stuff.
Well, hopefully we can actually see some more tournaments soon, and we can get to experience these moments. Now, while you were busy beating G2 in winner bracket final, Emprez was down in the losers bracket, also actually scoring some successes after defeat. Emprez, you played against Varona Rising. Do you remember that game? A Portuguese team.
No.
Emprez is like, who are those randoms?
No, not at all. I just don't remember. I mean, did we win or lose?
You won. Varona's lineup was Bambi top, Mules jungle, Vixen mid, Zaya bot, and Ferristar support.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember that like the second day we actually, I don't know, we just went super crazy and we won like 2-3 games in a row, and then we played really well those games, and then it came down to the last game that we lost, where we played not as good, because I think we got so, I don't know, hyped about the games that we played really well and really collected and coordinated, that we were so like we were not cocky, but we were like, okay, sure, we just played really well. Like we got this. But then we kind of lost track of what our actually game plan was, and that kind of, I think, caused some panic in like the individual way of playing mechanically as well. So yeah, I don't know. We need to improve on that. Yeah.
Well, you did score some good wins in the second Danish bracket. You beat French Fries.
Yeah.
That was the game, if I recall correctly, it was Fengdere on Mundo hard carrying with split pushing and just been unkillable from a certain point. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of the strat we went for. Just playing around top side jungle, letting Fang scale on Mundo, and then just boom, have a TP in their base. And yeah, I mean, it was the playstyle that we went for, which you can say is kind of hard to execute as well, because you have to play really patiently, and you have to play really collected as a team together, while trusting that Fang on side can like end the game for us. I think that's like the split pushing way of playing in draft is like one of the hardest to execute.
In general, even in Prime League, you played a lot around top, right? Because like often I would see Mercy on Ziggs or Seraphine, and then you and Pius would move around the map together and go top lane and try to put Feng ahead. So
yeah, exactly. That was kind of our whole like way of playing around in the team and like draft wise. So yeah, we went for that as well in the Rising Stars tournament.
Yeah. And then after defeating French Fires, you also defeated Humi, like another good team with some strong players.
Yeah.
Had quite a good performance that event. And then you ran onto Zero Lag and got stomped again, which I find quite interesting in that the only games you lost, you got super stomped.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, maybe just...
yeah, maybe it's a lack of, I don't know, something at least. But yeah, I think we actually underestimated Zero Lag a bit. The way that we didn't like know how they would perform team-wise, because individually they had strong players, but I think they also just they stomped us like in every position, so like it was just GG, and we had to just take that defeat, and we did. So
well, despite that, ultimately I would say it was a successful tournament for SK, especially after Gel Gamer, which was perhaps a bit disappointing, and people had higher expectations from SK in Gel Gamer. So and same for QLASH, like second place. I mean, it's not first place, but not a bad tournament, especially considering that lineup was put together very recently before the tournament. So
yeah, no, I mean, I'm still very proud of my girls. We ended up with a roster in which we're all very, very good friends, and we hang out even when it's not Scream. So at the end of the day, I'm just very happy. I found people I can share my love for the game with, and it makes the game a lot better.
Okay. We're running out of time, so we're gonna end soon. If anyone has any questions, they can write them in the chat. And while you write your questions, I have a question for Trez. Trez, if big participate in Rising Stars, what do you think your final placement would have been?
I mean, with some ego, I would say we'd probably win it. Personally, at the time, I'd say I'd definitely win it, but like maybe now, thinking, like, you know, now I've had a chance to play with the team more, and like we found like more of our flaws. Maybe that's a bit unrealistic, but I think definitely like we would have been top 3 for sure. I think overall we have really strong players, and maybe not like a overall like really well-rounded playstyle, but like we have like strong strengths, especially kind of like our mid game is like kind of insane. Like if you look at our team fighting. Even
Good
in
thing
the,
ours suck.
I mean, yeah, but like you look at our team fighting, and even in the Equal Esports Festival, like it's like we just kind of like turn situations that like I feel like a lot of people might not see the angles for, and I think like we would have been definitely a really strong competitor. in this, but my ego is always going to push me forward and say, yeah, we would have won it, easy clap. But obviously, no disrespect to like Leo's participating, because I think especially like some of the top teams, probably top 6, 7 like teams in this tournament are actually really strong, and like each kind of showed own strengths.
Okay, fair enough. And as we finish, I wanted you to give a bit of a teaser to the people watching. Like, tell us about what your plans are for 2023. What will each of your teams be doing this year?
Do I have to go? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we will play Mastercard Open Tour, the French one, since we sadly have 2 French girls on our team. I love them even if they're French. But yeah, we will play that one. It will be a very good opportunity to improve, to understand more about what it means to play competitive. And I'm really, really excited for it. I think we can grow a lot from it, and we're already improving at a very, very, very fast pace. I'm very surprised about how easily we overcame a lot of our problems. So I'm extremely excited for what's to come.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have some roster changes, which is gonna be announced mid-February. So I'm really excited for that. And of course, we're gonna be playing Prime League in the 5th division. Hopefully, properly. I think we will qualify to Division 4. And just play every female tournament that comes. And yeah, I am I don't know, really hopeful for this year and for this team and the players that we put together. And yeah, I don't know, I'm so excited to play the tournaments, and yeah, it's really good.
For Big at least, we'll be playing in Prime League, starting in Division 4 actually, after having acquired a split for that. Unfortunately, we also do have a French player, but we're working on dealing with the cultural differences right now.
I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, she posted a picture of her eating snails the other day and scored. It's not a good look.
Yeah, no, I asked like, what's France like signature dish, and she goes like escargot. I go like, huh? You eat snails? No, but they're so good. Like, you have to try them. I don't think I will. Nope.
Come on, guys, like.
But yeah, apart from Prime League, if there are tournaments open to female and non-binary players, I'm sure we'll be looking to participate in those as well, alongside maybe going out to Berlin, doing some content with the org or boot camps. But the kind of there's nothing kind of solid long time outside of just go Prime League and look to get Div 3, maybe even somehow by a miracle promote our team to Div 2. But who knows?
Okay, and one final thing for each of you. If the French players post pictures of themselves eating snails on Discord, what picture of what food would each of you post on Discord, being from Italy, Denmark, and the UK, respectively?
I would post my middle finger. I would say, eat this.
No, you post the pizza you always ate, Lily.
I always
say you ate from. What is the? Yeah, I just remember it.
I eat pizza every Saturday evening. It's a thing that is here, like in Italy, everyone eats pizza on Saturday evening. If you do, if you don't, we kick you out of Italy. But like my favorite pizza is with like mushrooms and I don't know how it's called in English, but it's like prosciutto, but with like it's very smoked. I don't remember the name, but yeah, that thing. It's very good. I always eat pizza.
Yeah. No, but the toppings you have on it, it's weird, Lily. It's so fucking weird. No, but I think in Denmark I would probably post a picture of like we have something called frikadella, which is like, it's not meatballs, but it is like meat, but it's still not meatballs. I don't know. But honestly, I don't know. If there's any French people in chat, I love France. You know, you have the Eiffel Tower, the language is beautiful. You know, it's fine.
Copium.
Copium. No, but I would probably not eat snails. So yeah, you can have that for yourself in the country. Yeah.
What? Being from Brexit land, I'd probably place the best regional dish ever: fish and chips. You know, like from the local chippy. You know, down. That's fine dining where I'm from. You know, and then if I had Lily in my team as well, I saw her posting her Italian food. I'd specifically mispronounce bolognese.
No,
Just to piss her
not
off.
again!
Just as punishment for that as well, because I'm not a pizza lover.
How dare you! I can't. 2 junglers was enough, but 2 not pizza lovers. Oh my god. I'm gonna cry today.
I don't know, like, you know, I'm also from South Europe and we quite like pizza here. So, you know, it's different. Maybe you northerners up there have a different preferences.
No, I think pizza is also a common thing here, and it's like the most ordered in dish. But yeah, I don't order pizza. Oh, eat pizza ordered out. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm really weird. Sorry.
It's fine. Okay. Well, that's it from us. Thanks to everyone who's here participating in this. I appreciate your presence. Nice to have you. And also thanks to all the people watching. We hope you enjoyed. In the chat you can find Twitter links of our 3 guests here, if you want to follow them for more news. We are going to see, like as you heard, we're going to see QLASH Midnight competing in French Open Tour. We are going to see SK Avarosa and Big Chroma competing in Prime League this year. So you are going to actually be able to see these teams play regularly and not just wait for a female scene tournament every few months. So that's nice. Now, other than that, not much more to say. You can tune in the stream, like follow for future content like this. And with many team announcements and many news coming in the next few weeks in the female scene, you're going to see some nice content out, including some interviews. So that's it from us. Thank you everyone, and have a nice evening.
Bye.
Bye!
Okay, we are off the air.